Okay. I think we've got it. What do we think? What do we think? Is it going to work this time? Private? Well, that's why. No wonder. Why would I want to stream private? There we go. Now maybe we'll be able to get some people in here. I've been private streaming the last 3 minutes. Sweet. Awesome. There we go. Hello, hello. All right. Let's get this party started. You think a software engineer would know how to do this better, but nope. Okay. All right. All right. Hello, hello. We can just jump into this video here. I think. And go ahead and get started. All right. Mr. Prism, get on Discord and promote your channel. Mr. Prism, do you, is there a Discord I'm missing out on? Is there a Discord I'm missing out on here? I mean, I'm all ears. I do not use Discord very often though. I'm a bit old school. I'm not old school. I just don't use Discord. Anyways, how's everybody doing tonight? We doing good? Start with Beardo's Discord. Crow of Judas. Oh, where did you get this idea from? The idea for this? Crow, I've seen you do sightings a few different times. But I really like sightings. Hopefully you haven't watched too many of them. Loved your latest video. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, I did. So I watched the Sally House sightings videos to prep for yeah, okay. Whew. You scared me there for a second, Crow. Yeah, he actually got me a little bit. I was like, no. Uh but yeah, I started watching sightings when I was prepping to go to the Sally House because I heard there was a good episode on it, and honestly, that's where like 95% of the paranormal claims even came from. So, you know. So I thought I'd watch a few other ones. I did watch a couple, and I honestly, the Sally House one was the most believable. The rest of them seemed kind of insane. Like, I think the follow up was like an alien story with these two women who claim to be abducted by the same thing. Uh, the Sally House one is ridiculous. See, that scratching is actually what drove me to go there because I live in Texas. So Kansas is still pretty far. It's about an 11-hour drive, give or take. But I only really want to investigate places that I think have a lot of interesting stuff going on. If there aren't like a lot of claims I can investigate, I don't really want to go that bad. So Tanya, I remember when it first aired, I totally believed it then. Hey, I believed it like a year ago, so there's no shame in that. You know, you found the right community eventually, and that's what matters. Crow, I hope you're doing better. By the way, you know, I wanna see some of your streams again soon. Oh, okay. Honestly, I kind of want to play my intro from my latest video just do a little start here. A little shameless self promo, maybe. You're doing a lot better. That's great to hear. That is great to hear. I do kind of. I'm gonna play it. I'm so proud of the intro to this video. We're not gonna watch. We're not gonna watch the whole thing, but I do want to show the intro. I really do. So we're gonna
explain it.
Ew.
Your convoy's ready, sir. Welcome to the Pentagon.
Nothing less than our national security.
You posted your live. Thank you so much.
He has no fear.
I'm sorry. I know a lot of you probably
We're
saw
lucky
it.
to have you back, Mason.
For a little context, this is the Black Ops 2 trailer. Thank you, Prism. I appreciate it.
Distinguished heroes.
I kept hearing numbers.
George.
Distinguished
I
leaders.
couldn't get them out of my head.
This took way too long.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
Way too long.
Good luck, Mason.
Oh no, I blocked off Beardo. Beardo's there. Just imagine him. Just imagine
Mr.
him.
President.
Agent Mason.
This is the one I was most proud of. Yeah. Justin in Seg's dad's curtains. I thought that was pretty good. The intro went hard. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Now we're going to move on How's everybody doing? I have not watched any videos today, so I feel like I missed some stuff from Beardo probably, if anyone can clue me in. All right. Also got the nice vidIQ. Let's go back. There we go. That is hilarious. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you. I think I'm funny, so there's that. I thought it was a fun intro to a video that's a bit more serious. Yeah. He got a privacy strike? Oh man. I think I saw that one. There was another video. I said I didn't watch any today. I almost positive I saw that. So, what was it? It was about the warrants. I think I haven't watched it yet, but I was curious. I was thinking about it. I'm just thinking about it.
The following program deals with controversial subjects. The theories expressed are not the only possible interpretation. The viewer is invited to make a judgment based on all available information.
This one said it's about Alcatraz. So, should be exciting. I'm going to try to pause more often because I got... Hey, do you find vidIQ useful? Crow, it is extremely useful. I am one of those guys who loves to dig into like the analytics. I want to see retention graphs and all that kind of good stuff. And vidIQ is very helpful. They can do a full channel audit for you, which is a pretty crazy feature. And it is super helpful. Because the most important thing on YouTube is retention. How long did people watch, especially at the beginning? And it can provide some pretty good insights for that kind of thing. So.
Tonight on Sightings, do deadly apparitions haunt Alcatraz prison?
Oh, hi Flower, how are you?
100 ghosts here.
Our investigative team, led by a
Bro hasn't started any
paranormal expert,
trouble.
comes face to face with a frightening...
You had me sweating a little at the beginning.
Since 1991, thousands of Mexican citizens have witnessed UFOs and captured them on videotape. What could it mean? Find out tonight.
Sir Spookfest, hello. He has me. It's not lying. Yeah, Crow, I wanted to do other videos. So I had this idea last week, maybe 2 weeks ago now, that I guess 2 weeks ago, where I was going to do a 24-hour live stream of Sam and Colby, and I got shut down so fast. I could not believe how quick they took. I didn't even make it to the second hour before they they took down my stream for copyright. I didn't realize it was even more strict than regular YouTube. So that one's on me. That one's on me for sure. But yeah. So I'll have to find some other interesting content. I don't know what's allowed. That's kind of the problem. Is it up to like? Is it up to Sam and Colby though? Sorry, I know I start playing the video just to stop it, but.
Welcome to Sightings. I'm Tim White. We begin a new series of investigations tonight with a trip to Alcatraz. Since the world's most infamous prison was opened to the public in 1973,
good to see you.
Some visitors claim to have felt the ghostly presence of long-dead inmates. Well, Park Service officials won't comment. So, along with the Sightings investigative team, I went to Alcatraz.
Haven't seen the show in years.
There's a
yeah,
strange
it's awesome.
pull you feel viewing this imposing outpost from shore. It was once the toughest prison in America, home to Al Capone, Machine Gun Kelly, and the Birdman.
Believe it or not, at least one person escaped this place. Probably. He might have. There's a chance he drowned, but.
Alcatraz. It started in the 1850s as a military fortress defending San Francisco Bay.
We're in the guardhouse, built in 1857. It was intended to be used as a defensive point. There was a gun that would have been mounted here, but it never got used. Instead, this was turned into the first cell block on Alcatraz in 1863.
Yeah, this is definitely one of my all-times. If I could go investigate here, I don't think it'd be a very good investigation because of how big the place is, but man, it would be cool. It would be so cool.
Insubordinate soldiers were locked away in tiny cells, measuring only 3 by 6 feet. They were beaten, chained to the walls, and forced to endure hard labor on the rock.
Alcatraz boomed, and by 1909, the cell house that dominates the top of the island had been built for the incarceration of military prisoners.
Alcatraz remained a barbaric military prison until the 1930s, when social upheaval reached a peak and mobsters ruled the big city streets. The Justice Department requested that the military surrender the island, and Alcatraz...
Let's check out. Those brothers got out and moved to South America. There was a documentary about it that was very compelling. Oh, really? Please drop that in the chat if you've got it. Drop that in the chat if you've got it, because I will watch it.
Was transformed into a maximum security prison, the last stop for America's most hardened criminals. The monsters of society were stored here until 1963, when the prison closed. Alcatraz was opened to the public in 1973 and attracts 4,000 tourists a day. There are reports that Alcatraz is haunted. Could the pain and suffering endured by prisoners at Alcatraz still exist today in the
Is there a single prison that isn't reported to be haunted? I feel like prisons and hospitals, you gotta assume. You gotta assume. You have to think about it? Okay, sweet. Get back to me. Lobsters instead of mobsters.
form of ghosts.
No.
When you walk in, it's really dark and it's very cold.
Although
in
that
there,
would be...
and I got the chills and I had to leave. I didn't like it at all.
Normally I don't believe in ghosts, but in a place like that where there have been so many violent deaths and the kind of people that were there, you know, it's quite possible.
I think it's a natural idea that when you come onto the island, you're going to be experiencing something a little special, you know, a little extra. Sounds of a cell door closing, somebody appearing and then disappearing. Those type of things would...
They do investigations here, right? I feel like I've seen at least a couple investigations. I'm trying to think about, like... I don't know. I'd have to put, like... I don't
really...
I don't even know where to start with a place this big.
Ray Polo, a former Park Service ranger on the island, claims many ghostly encounters have occurred. But for the past 19 years, the Park Service has refused to talk about reports that Alcatraz is haunted.
Official policy about ghosts on Alcatraz is we would say that, in effect, well, maybe things had happened, maybe they didn't. It's just something.
I forgot this was the 90s. I was like, people are investigating. What do you mean it's off limits?
That it wasn't officially sanctioned.
Are there ghosts on Alcatraz? We asked nationally renowned psychic investigator Peter James to spend a night on the rock. I walked with Peter as he tried to communicate with what he calls entities inside Alcatraz. As we walked through the cell blocks, Peter began to hear what he felt were the voices of tortured spirits.
Alcatraz was a place that drove men mad. Military prison.
They're in pain, and I'm in pain, and there's blood here.
This is a cool scene. I like this scene. I don't know. No one's... It was simple but elegant. Hi, Entity 7 Paranormal.
Like a
Welcome
psychic
in. Good to see
bloodhound,
you.
Peter was drawn to out-of-the-way places around the island.
I know literally nothing about Alcatraz other than what I learned here during the past 2 days that I've been here. And my feelings are strongly that there is an energy here unlike any other.
Joe, I thought you were great in your podcast with Kenny Biddle the other day. That was a good one. That was a really good one.
That I've ever experienced.
Peter claimed to have little knowledge of the history of Alcatraz. He said he let the
His
spirits
mustache,
guide him, and they led him here to an area known as the Citadel.
This particular one, I feel there was a loss of life here. And this man was a sergeant. And this is an
Yeah, they fly him out a lot, I think, because he was in the Sally House episode too. And I don't really believe in psychics personally. Never seen any credible evidence that they can really do much of anything. But yeah, he walked around the Sally House and just kind of made vague comments. And they even went to a grave of a lady named Sally. And I did look it up, and she died, I think. Oh, she did die. Her name was Sally, and she died around the right time period. But in fact, she was in her 30s, so not a child when she died. But hey, who knows? Maybe, get in the paranormal theories here. Maybe you go back to your favorite age. Because if I'm going to be a ghost and I live to like 99, that'd be tough. That would be tough.
American life that was lost in this particular cell. And I feel badly. I feel beaten.
You're not old, Joe.
I don't feel
that mustache is memorable right there. That's a killer mustache.
That I lost life from gunfire. I lost life because of neglect. I was neglected. I am responding to, there's a definite sense here that I'm hungry, I'm thirsty. There could not be any crime in the world.
I'm sorry, he's hitting me with so much right here. Is he claiming these are all different ghosts? Is that what he's going for here? Because I don't know. If I come back as a ghost, I'm not haunting a home or building. I'm haunting the Winner's Locker. Okay. Hey, you do you, Joe. You do you.
Worth the punishment that I feel this entity endured.
Peter had correctly identified the dank dungeon where military prisoners were kept. The specific ghost images he felt were later substantiated by our experts.
I'm feeling an American here. I'm feeling an American serviceman right here.
Men were kept chained down there, sometimes chained.
I just think it's funny that you are technically in America. So saying, oh, I feel an American in here is like it's American prison.
Through iron rings to the floor. Other times, as we understand, chained with iron rings in the ceiling.
Something is like going through my stomach. It feels like something metal. And my legs are in chains as well. I'm feeling that if I stay here much longer, that I'll die.
I don't know, Donna. I don't know.
Death and torment followed us through the night. At daybreak, we replayed Peter's observations for our experts, like ex-guard Al Bloomquist. And after each of Peter's encounters, our experts confirmed the accuracy of his psychic visions.
to comply with these orders that I'm being given, and I feel like I'm being trapped here in this particular area.
We were told there's trouble on the rock.
On May the 2nd, 1946, 6 inmates with other lesser accomplices decided to blast their way out of the prison.
I feel like I'm being thrown into this cell, and I'm being thrown into that cell.
During that time, they gathered up 9 officers, put them inside of cells to be used as hostages.
Who are the...
I feel like all these clips are, like, I'm not following the story here. Are you guys getting the story? Because I'm a little lost on following what he's trying to spit here. He was a lot easier to understand in the Sally House episode. While I wait on your response, I'm going to show y'all something real quick. It's a scene that I was going to use for a video I was doing. I thought I had an awesome video idea. Where am I? Oh, there I am. Yeah, not sponsored by Fireball, by the way, but I was doing a drink I called it the drunk debunk, and it was going to be a video where I think it was a Sam and Colby video, and I was taking a Fireball shot every time. Every time they made an investigation mistake, and it got so sloppy so fast that I realized, I was like, I can't post this. First of all, I just I thought I would be more entertaining, but I was just way less entertaining because I couldn't think of anything. I could not think of anything to say. And then they just kept doing it. And I got to probably the 14th Fireball shot, and it was just, I just could not take it anymore. So, anyways.
In here, 4 or 5 are these prisoners?
No, I am a person of authority. I feel like I should be on the other side of this of the bars, but I'm here against my will. I am here.
Hey Scarborough, welcome
I am
in.
placed here by force, and at the point of the gun.
Who's holding it? Who's shooting?
I feel that Joseph is involved here.
Joseph Kretzer, he was one of the toughest of the bunch. He was really a...
Joseph? We're going... Well, first of all, Joe's in chat, but... it's such a common name. Come on.
Mean dog.
What does Joseph have to do with this?
Joseph is keeping me captive here. Joseph is placing me here against my will.
Where's Joseph?
Joe Kretzer took the .45 automatic and started shooting these officers, innocent officers inside the cell.
I'm sensing that Bill, or William, lost his life here.
Only one.
Only one.
4 or 5 here.
One of the most common
here, but others are wounded. But I only feel one loss of life in this particular place.
Whose voice are you hearing?
I'm hearing William. There's a Bill or William.
William Miller later died in the hospital in San Francisco.
Okay. A Bill. We've got, what do we have? Joe and Bill right now. Maybe the 2 most common American names.
The name starts with a C.
We need we need to get a list of common names and just run through these psychic videos and just start tallying them up. Ooh, that might be a good video idea.
Lower jaw torn away.
It's a wonder they weren't all killed.
Nah,
in the spot.
Alarms sounded. Military reinforcements arrived. The inmates fled to a utility corridor in C Block. 46 years later, Peter James led our cameras to the same, now dark, corridor.
Peter, you've sensed a lot in there.
Yes.
Why don't you we have an infrared lens on the camera. Why don't you go in there with the camera?
Okay, all right.
I would like that. I would like that.
I like the host.
Joseph, I'm coming through. Marge, Marty, Marty, Marv. Give me a better verification of a name. Marvin, is that Marvin?
Okay, now we can add Marvin to the group. Okay, Marvin, Joe, and Bill.
Marvin Hubbard. died in the utility quarter of C
Hey,
block.
Pomp, welcome in. Welcome in.
There's,
I hope you're having a great night.
I am responding to a sensation here, and I feel like I'm losing consciousness. And what Joseph is telling me is that he's been shot.
Joseph Dutch Kretzer died in the utility corridor of C block.
Oh, it's cold. It's freezing back here. There's a cold spot here. Oh, yes. Hello? There is a third soul here with the letter B.
Bernard Paul Coy died in the utility corridor of C block.
Listen, they're moaning. Moaning. The pain is so intense. They're like little boys back here. They're moaning, almost asking for the
I don't know.
guidance of their
I don't know what you guys
parents.
think. I kind of, when you base your whole investigation. Hey, Ken, welcome in. What's going on, everybody? When you base your whole investigation on what a psychic says, like I don't like it as much because you're not even doing any investigating. I can't even pick it apart, you know? Like, where's the fun in that? Where's the fun in that? Hey, Ken. Hope you're good. Hope you're good. We're gonna stick it out, though. We're already halfway.
At least 100 ghosts here.
100
entities that walk these corridors, looking for a way out, looking for that life force that they seem to have lost somewhere, tragically.
I can't really say that I'm a believer myself, but like many people, I guess, there are some things that just simply are.
Yeah, this is Alcatraz. This is a Sightings episode. Ghost of Alcatraz. Oh, I guess we're going to get a UFO update.
Explain.
That's looking forward to.
After my night on Alcatraz, it was hard to ignore the images and voices evoked by Peter James. But I still have questions about what we experienced together. Joining me now from Los Angeles is psychic Peter James. Peter, good of you to join us.
Thank you, Tim. Nice to have me here.
We were together there that evening, and people who see the tape might wonder, is this guy for real? I don't believe it. It looks like he was making it up. He probably memorized a book. He talked to the guards. He went there half a dozen times. How do you answer that?
That's the thing. I like the anchor for Sightings. I liked him in the Sally house, and I like him here. And they're not afraid. They're not afraid to kind of, you know, they're not pulling punches the way I don't think this would happen today. And it's just a shame because I'm actually very excited to hear his answer.
I had no prior knowledge other than what the general public knows about Alcatraz.
We were there together. I tried to be as open as I could through those hours. And as I told you at the time,
he asked like 5 questions. We didn't get anything there. Prism, welcome back in. Welcome back in.
I didn't hear the voices.
I appreciate your
I didn't
support.
see
It really does
anything.
mean a lot.
I didn't sense what you sensed. Does that say something about me or about you, the differences between us, or does it say something about the entities? They don't choose to speak to you.
It says something about all of us, Tim, in that we all spend too much time in trying to disprove that there is another side rather than to simply bridge those gaps of ignorance, as I...
Oh, man, he's not gonna like this community, guys.
put it. And yes, some of us are more acutely sensitive, as I am.
Can you turn
Hi,
it on
Denise,
and off,
welcome in,
Peter, or are
welcome
you
in.
seeing and hearing things all the time?
I see things all the
Peter
time.
James,
I don't know that you can,
That's
but I am
actually
able to turn it off.
saying I look like Peter James. Like, as long as you're not talking about psychic abilities, I can appreciate that. I could only dream to have a mustache like that. I mean, it just, I don't know. I don't think I can do it.
Yes.
Peter James, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
And we will be back with more sightings in just a moment.
Coming up next, since 1991, hundreds of Mexican citizens have captured astonishing new evidence of UFOs on videotape.
All right, just to keep the score here, we saw absolutely nothing in that investigation of Alcatraz. It feels like such a waste. Such a waste. Just a different generation of him? Yeah. Hopefully I don't go that route, guys. I want to stay in the debunking community. I don't think I'm turning psychic anytime soon. Could be father and son. What if I told you guys my last name was James? It's not. But what if?
What could it mean? Find out tonight.
All right, I'm ready for the UFO.
Now, for the first time on American television, an in-depth look at the largest documented UFO sighting in history. Every week since 1991, thousands of unidentified flying objects have been sighted over Mexico City. And there are people who believe this is just the beginning of an alien invasion predicted more than 3,000 years ago. The sightings began on July 11th, 1991. On that day, there was a total eclipse of the sun. One of the best places in the world to view the eclipse was Mexico City. And for the first time, because of the home video revolution, thousands of people pointed their video cameras to the skies.
Exactly at the time of the full solar eclipse, a disc-shaped craft appears over the city, hovers for over 30 minutes. 17 people on the ground recorded it on home video. And that's never happened before in the history of ufology.
When modern scientists forecasted the date of the historic solar eclipse, they weren't alone. Some believe the ancient Mayas also predicted the exact date of the eclipse more than 3,000 years ago. This Maya calendar made another startling revelation. It predicted that on the day of the eclipse, a new age of enlightenment would begin. It's referred to as the prophecy of the
Yeah,
sixth sun.
I thought he said that kind of funny. This is a cool story, though. I kind of like this. You know, first time a lot of people are pointing their cameras up.
The legend of the sixth
I hope they have multiple angles.
the new sun, signified by the great eclipse that just occurred, speaks of an opening of knowledge. The sixth sun indicates precisely the moment of its arrival.
Strangely, on the day of the eclipse, something did arrive in the skies over Mexico. Hundreds of those home video cameras that were shooting the eclipse got something completely unexpected. UFOs, unidentified flying objects, all videotaped by hundreds of different people. So far,
We've
more
gotta
than
expect the
110
grainy
home
footage.
videos have been verified as containing footage of unexplained craft.
1991. Why is it that some videos that are coming out right now that I see on those top 5 channels are worse quality than what we just saw? Like, it's not even close. I don't know.
It may sound difficult to believe in a city with almost 20 million people that practically every afternoon you can see a UFO.
Jaime Mason is one of the most respected television
pausing skills
journalists in Mexico City today, hosting a Mexican version of 60 Minutes. Mason calls himself a former skeptic.
During the last year, thousands, and I would say hundreds of thousands of people have witnessed UFOs. What I feel is important...
Okay, let's look at this. So first of all, it looks like it's on the ground. Zoomed way in, makes the picture blurry. Yeah, I got to agree with Julie on that one. I think they do it. Usually it's intentional. The best way I've seen so far, and I'm not claiming to have come up with this, I've seen a lot of people talk about this, is camera placement. If the camera placement is like perfectly centered on, like, let's say in this case it's like some cabinets opening, like you're going, if it's right in the middle and it's got the perfect shot, it's like, you know, they put that camera there on purpose. And I mean, there's just not that much to it.
As an investigative reporter, is the fact that the evidence presented was never questioned. The credibility of the witnesses
Looks like somebody playing Atari Tank on a black and white TV. Yep. Couldn't agree.
was
Couldn't
attacked,
agree more.
not the proof that they presented.
People from all walks of life videotape wave after wave of UFOs hovering in the sky. Sightings has obtained the exclusive U.S. rights to these historic tapes. One of the first to come.
We are running the gambit of different UFOs here. What is this? First of all, look at the green background. That's clearly on the ground. And then it looks like one of those light up balls, like the dog toys.
Forward with his home video was respected dentist Dr. Marco Antonio Rosas.
The people are definitely not nervous or afraid of the appearances of the UFOs.
Is that really the same guy who brought out... I know the story you're talking about, Scarborough. I don't know who did that, but I do remember the story of the people who... They had like a couple of alien... I want to say they called them eggs, but maybe I'm wrong on that, little alien mummy things. And I thought they tried to bring it to the government and they pretty much got laughed out. But yeah, I've seen a lot these days where people are like, oh my God, like, have you seen that they're talking about aliens, in Congress? And I finally got curious enough to sit down and watch one of them. And it really seemed to me like more of a public forum where anyone can kind of bring these claims to light with like any background. It kind of was a bummer because I'd love to believe in aliens. I'm open to the possibility that they're out there. Just to throw it out there too, I do believe in ghosts. I've had some really, really bizarre personal experiences that have kind of proven to me that there's more to that story. But I've never seen anything for aliens. So let's catch up on chat a little bit here. I understand what people are saying is so hard. It is hard. Ooh. Phoenix Light era, the first UFO was really bad video. Ooh, the first UFO. I like that. Same guys, alien dust mummies. Interesting. All right. We're getting a bit of an origin story.
The people actually like the idea and feel that these appearances can bring some benefit to the Earth.
After the first tapes were released, more and more...
Mason, it's not safe to drink the contents of the bottles you've been digging up. No, I have dug up a few sodas that still had the contents, and I've been tempted, but I've never taken a swig yet. Well, we'll see. Maybe one day that'll change.
People came forward with tapes and photographs. Just outside Mexico City, in the town of Jalisco, the police chief revealed that he had photographs he could not explain. The chief had been trying to take surveillance photographs of a drug smuggler's plane, but when the photos were developed, a startling image was revealed.
And I said, what is this? I got upset. I threw the photographer out. I told him this was of no use to my investigation. I showed it to my assistant in the office. I said, look what this guy brought me. He said, hey, that's nice. What would you think if we blew it up? So we called the photographer back in and I asked him to enlarge the picture.
Okay, so this isn't an original photo. This is enlarged. Hey, Kenny Biddle, welcome in. Welcome in. It's good to see you. Enjoyed the show the other night. Thought it was pretty good.
From there, all this came out. The truth is, I still don't know what's in that picture. It's a mystery to me.
Since the eclipse, the UFO sightings have continued week in and week out, and the acceptance of the phenomena by government officials has made even the most reticent eyewitnesses...
This just goes to show you that history repeats itself. Talking about how government officials have accepted UFOs. That feels as relevant today as ever. I was just talking about how people have been getting up in front of Congress and saying all kinds of stuff about how UFOs are real and they have proof. And I feel like every time I watch one of them, it is a complete letdown as far as evidence goes.
Willing to come forward. Padre Ferrer, a priest at a local Catholic church, has seen and recorded these mysterious UFOs.
Christ speaks of his kingdom as not being from this world, that his angels would help him. But these writings are very dangerous and I don't like to use them. But I believe that there is a possibility. I believe there are a lot of possibilities. I came out to take a video of that pine tree against the light. When I came up, I saw the light appear.
What are we gonna get?
Over the mountain over.
Okay. All right. It's a blob. So far, they've all been blobs, unfortunately. Hey, look, a tiny light in the big dark sky. Obviously, it's aliens. Yep. Yep. Absolutely. It's got a big light on the front, though, so I feel like maybe... Can't it just be a plane?
There. It was not an ordinary light. It was...
I can't
blue.
prove it. I should say that. I can't prove it. That's not a full debunk. Not even close.
And very intense.
You just wrote a book chapter on UAP congressional hearings. It boggles my mind how overblown they were. Yeah, that is what I saw. I saw it everywhere, and so finally I sat down and I was shocked at the nothing burger that it ended up being. If you have Kenny, is that book out yet? I know I remember you saying you were writing a chapter, but if the book's out, I do want to get a copy of it.
I've never been afraid of something like this. On the contrary, what I've been able to observe has been wonderful. Once a philosopher said, if God is outside of the truth, I'll stay with the truth. So I feel there is no contradiction.
Unlike the U.S., where UFO controversy most often takes place outside the media mainstream, the Mexico mass sightings are discussed openly on national television. Not everyone agrees the UFOs are extraterrestrial craft. But in
This is a great question. Kenny, do you think people are getting more skeptical or less skeptical? That's an open question for everybody. Because I thought things were getting better until TikTok. And I will say the second the short form content really started blowing up, I started thinking again. The best example was a little bit ago, there was a TikTok conspiracy revolving around a mysterious sea monster that was being recorded on an app. Like it was a giant blob in the water, and it was in... I do not remember what the app was called, but I think it was supposed to measure like currents and keep track of that kind of information. And I took one look at it, and obviously I was like, oh, that's a software bug, 100%. Because the sea monster was like the size of a city. It was an impossible size to sustain life. But the comments, they blew me away, how many people were just totally on board with it. It had like 2 million likes. Some crazy stuff. Crazy. Won't be out till later this year? All right, cool. My book is still half written. I keep getting other projects. Taking on more projects. Hey, you can't, well, you probably can't have enough projects, but. Scarborough says the UAP videos Corridor Crew YouTube channel examined. They're fairly sure they were most likely lens artifacts. Yeah. Yeah, sounds about right to me.
Mexico, healthy debate on the true origin of these UFOs.
All right, you know what? Since I didn't actually do it for a video, since I didn't actually end up using this, hold on. We're gonna do one of these. We're gonna crack open the party bucket. Ugh. Well, if I yeah, you can see the contents of my failed video idea. We'll do one. We'll do one. I'm ready to crack the fireball back open a little bit. Here we go. All right. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Now I'm ready for more aliens. Give me more aliens. Come on. Not enough. Not enough aliens. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. You probably want to see the video. Sitting here with my ice cream cone like a child. There's nothing wrong with a good ice cream cone. I bet an ice cream cone would go great with some Fireball.
Demonstrate a field propulsion and technology that's far beyond anything that I'm aware of that we have today. Most scientists look at these things as not that these are phenomena that violate known physical laws. It's just that they're phenomena that our known laws cannot explain right now.
But you can explain them. You can. It's probably the Roswell UFO, clearly.
Craft do defy the laws of physics as we know them. Could they be alien spacecraft?
Jack Daniels Tennessee Fire is better. You are absolutely right, Ken. I do not typically drink Fireball shots. I'm a big whiskey guy. Big whiskey guy. But actually, so I'm taking a break from the whiskey for now, but mainly because, you know, I'm new to live streaming. I don't want to do too much. But I got Malibu mixed with some High C Orange, and that's a pretty nice combo.
They pretend a visitation by an enlightened civilization, as some believe. Since our investigation, the sightings have gained international notoriety. 2 crews from Japan and a European team are there now. We'll keep you updated on their findings.
Coming up next, a special Sightings UFO update. One of our viewers...
Okay, that's a good little stopping point right now. Kenny says, I'm not sure about whether the general public either getting more or less skeptical. I worry for the TikTok generation. Yeah, media literacy could not be lower right now. I mean, to some extent, it's not their fault. TikTok doesn't do anything to combat. Most of the short form content platforms do nothing to combat misinformation or even just provide any kind of truth, with the exception of actually Twitter, or X now, I guess. I really like what they've been doing with, I forget what they call it, but if enough users can like cite their sources, they will actually put a little disclaimer on the tweet or the video that explains what's actually going on. It's brilliant. I really want to see platforms like TikTok and YouTube expand on that idea. The problem is it's from an ad revenue perspective, it doesn't do it doesn't do them any favors, really. And a lot of times it'll be like a promotional ad, and then it'll say underneath it, actually, here's why you shouldn't buy X product. And I think that's going to be why we don't see it take off, unfortunately. But it's such a, Elon Musk, I think he got that one right. He's a controversial man, I know, but that was a good idea.
Captures startling footage of a UFO from his backyard in Southern California.
Short-form videos waste hours of time and disguise hoaxes as entertainment. Absolutely. Absolutely. Malibu and High C Orange, you say. Yeah, it's a great combo. Great combo. Scarborough says, people are getting skeptical about certain things, but then believe other videos that are obviously AI. I don't blame people yet for AI. I think there's going to be an adjustment period. I think it's already started. But I will say, it seems to me that most people now, when they see a video that's even a little bit, like might be AI, the top comment says AI. So maybe there's hope.
The unprecedented documentation of sightings in Mexico demonstrates that home video cameras are revolutionizing the study of UFOs. Just recently, one of our viewers captured a UFO on tape and immediately sent it to us.
But when we first seen it, it was towards that area over here to the west, and it was moving real slowly, hovering and stopping, hovering, stopping. When it got to about this area
Wait a minute. He said to the west, but he's definitely pointing to the east because it's flipped.
And it was moving real slowly, hovering and stopping, hovering, stopping. When it got to about this area here, it just zoomed that way real fast, and it stopped and just started blinking on and off.
The Rosas family was enjoying an evening swim at their...
Sir Spookfest says, I do believe in UFOs. I had an experience with my sister and 3 friends at the beach in Maine. Giant orange orb over a lake, only 100 feet above the water. You know what I will say, Sir Spookfest? I will say I wouldn't be surprised if there's some kind of natural phenomenon that causes orbs, similar to like ball lightning. Like, I feel like a lot of people are confusing UFOs and ball lightning. Can I prove it? Absolutely not. But ball lightning is super fascinating. If you haven't looked that up, I do recommend you check it out. From what I remember reading, though, it's very rare.
Their home in Fontana, California, when this UFO appeared to hover over them for about 4 minutes.
Look, it's moving fast now, isn't it?
That's 4 spots, Grandpa. Look at...
Santos Rosas describes the object as a glowing...
Good point, Kenny. Yeah, judging distance from any real distance away from the source of the visual, especially audio. I have tinnitus, and you'll even see this in that video I did on the Sally house where I thought I heard something. I am positive that it was just the tinnitus, and so the smallest noises will sound really loud, but they also don't sound like they're coming from the right directions. So it pretty much rules out my personal ability to judge any kind of audio
orange square-shaped craft.
That's why you gotta have recorders, you gotta have a monitoring system, CCTV. I will say I need to figure out a way to have better microphones because the security system microphones are just so bad. They're so bad.
Helicopter or an airplane because it didn't have no strobe lights on it and it didn't make no noise. To me, it was a UFO. There was no jet, there wasn't a helicopter, I know that. Well, we were stunned because we'd never seen anything like this before. And all my grandsons and my daughter and my wife, they couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I still don't believe it.
Is this light a UFO? The Fontana Police Department couldn't explain it, and a call to military bases operating...
Did this actually get sent to the police station, or did they just say that after the fact? Mr. Prism says, I've had a UFO sighting, but I still think there must be a mundane explanation. Was an orange, brownish, glowing guitar pick shape. Ooh, that's interesting. I like the guitar pick shape. I'm trying to envision that. I can't say I have any explanation for that. Of course, it's a UFO. He wasn't able to identify it. Yeah.
In the area would not identify this sighting as a military craft.
What do you mean evidence? What is evidence
if
really
you videotaped what you believe to be a UFO, or if you've had any type of unexplained paranormal experience you'd like to share, our sightings investigative team wants to know.
To report your sighting, please call 1-900-740-SIGHT. 1-900-740-SITE.
The amount of money I would pay to have the recordings of just all of the conversations that were sent to this number. Oh my God, I'd give anything. I'd never have to worry about content again. That would be what we do. We would sit here and we would listen to calls, and that would be it. We might still do that anyways. It kind of sounds like fun, honestly. If I could find honestly, if I could just have people call in, tell me their experiences, I'd do that. I think that'd be fun. At least like every once in a while. LOL Pomp, 10 at night, and it did shoot off, no noise. Didn't move like ball lightning. Also size of a small house. Small house. Whew. You should answer my work phone for a day or two. Yeah. Yeah, I do feel like I'm just talking about your work phone. I remember you showing that email you'd gotten. I forgot what was on it, but I thought, oh man, like, because I mean, you're one of the few people here whose identity is public, and I really respect you for that, because, you know, anybody can reach out, and when you leave your contact info for anybody to reach out, I mean, they really do reach out. So, man.
The call costs 75 cents per minute. Average call lasts 2 minutes. The number again to report your paranormal experiences, 1-900-740-7483. Must be 18 years or older.
Okay, that's good.
Join us next time for new investigations. For Sightings, I'm Tim White. Good night.
I do like Tim.
Tomorrow, an amusement
Good job,
park
Tim.
accident leaves a woman hanging.
All right. Well, what do we think of that, guys? What do we think? UFOs real? I'm trying to get a gauge on everybody. I'm curious. I think if life's out there, it's probably like bacteria on Mars or something. I've been reading a bit into that, and you know, the signs that there used to be water on Mars. I think that's interesting. Could go somewhere maybe. But as far as the stereotypical UFO, I haven't seen anything convincing enough. Although I really would have loved to be there at Roswell to see what they picked up. That would have been cool. You did have your sister come tell the story on here. Drop if you can. I don't know if they allow you to drop links, but feel free to drop that in the chat, and I'll check it out later. Very ambiguous, no details. Yep. That's how they all are, though. Very ambiguous. Oh, you know what we should watch, guys? I was thinking about this the other day. Ghost in the Pantry. I really want to do more research into this. Because this is the kind of videos that when I was growing up that like really, really had me convinced that the paranormal was real. I was just thinking about it. Pantry Ghost. That looks like the right one.
Jody, what are you doing?
Okay, I actually haven't seen this one.
When are we gonna go see the movie?
After we eat, we'll go to the movie. My dad is in
Kenny,
town.
you know that one? All right. I'm ready to have my childhood ruined. Go ahead. Tell me what I don't want to hear.
Hello.
Hello, say hello.
Hello, and my new mom.
Where's the pantry, guys?
Can I get something to eat?
Yes,
All right.
go for it.
Just cereal for now. And eat on the counter.
Jody, you're not feeling good?
I have not watched this in probably a decade.
After the movie, you'll feel fine.
I also do think if I had started with this one, I would have believed it a little bit less. I've never seen one with the full family. Oh. Okay. So you just barely have the outline of the face right there. Kind of a missing nose. This is not the one that I'm thinking of, though. There's a much better clip. Let's go back. I feel like I need to take vidIQ off of here. This looks like... This channel's called Debunk This Rubbish. Okay. 13 years ago. Somebody was early. Captain Disillusion dismantled it. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Yeah, this is the clip I'm thinking of. Scarborough says, I feel like if we're the only life in the universe, it's a massive waste of space. Ghost steps out of hidden right into the... Wait. I'm a slow reader. The ghost steps out of a hidden space to the right of the door. What? Okay, so this guy's giving us the... Oh, he's telling us how it's been faked. Huh. Of all the potential debunks here, I think I expected this one the least. Yeah, man, this is taking me back. I can feel my skepticism leaving my body. And it's not just the alcohol. Yep, I think he keeps missing. You're about guess, Kenny. Oh, did I miss something? You think there's an access door to the right for accessing the fireplace? Okay, so you actually agree with him. Okay, that's interesting. I was sure it was like an editing trick. All right.
Hey guys, Dan from.
Whoa! Hey, Mr. Gray. Sweet. Oh, this is the pantry ghost. Okay. Mr. Gray did a video on it. I'm going to have to save this. Save. Watch later. Boom. All right. Anyways, I'll take us back to sightings for now. That popped right into my head. So, what was the question? I missed it. That's only on my show. Yeah, no capital Q's here. No capital Q's here. I'll try to answer them all. This is my first probably like true live stream all the way through. I did that one the other day for those of you who weren't here earlier, but yeah, I didn't think about the fact that Sam and Colby were not going to let me watch 24 hours of their videos. Even though it was to torture myself, right? And they just didn't get it. You were trying to invite yourself on my live stream? You absolutely can join. I have no idea how to do it, but I am totally down for you to join me. Kenny, do you have a easy way to do it? I'm streaming on OBS right now, and I did like a little live streaming probably when I was like 15, but I kind of just remember what I had from back then, so. Oh, Dan, my second favorite bald Welshman. You have no idea how to do it on OBS? What do you use, Kenny? Just out of curiosity. I'll set it up so we could do something soon. You use that, I remember, what was it? It was really simple and easy to do. I really liked it, so I'll have to look into doing that. StreamYard, yeah. I'll have to figure that out for the next one, because I'm not in love with OBS. I think it's got some issues. Anyways, another reason to get Discord. Mr. Prism, you are right. When you're right, you're right. I'm trying to think if I've got anything off the top of my head that also really convinced me when I was younger. A lot of Nuke's top fives, unfortunately. Obviously Ghost Adventures, but I don't want to do any of that. I'm trying to think of something a little more obscure. Ooh, there was some Ouija board stuff, like a Ouija board possession video. Ooh. Where she starts laughing like maniacally. Any of y'all remember that one? I think Dust uses OBS, but jumps over to StreamYard when he goes to take people on at the end of his lives. Thank you. I will take all of that into consideration. Yeah, because I would love for people to come on and join me. I mean, I'm not going to be that interesting. Let's see if we've got it. I feel like the way that this kind of content has blown up over the last few years has really made it like impossible to find what I'm thinking of. But I do remember Zozo. Y'all remember the Zozo craze? That was a good one. I used to really love messing around with Ouija boards. Let's go on a tangent real fast. But yeah, when I was probably like 15, I really loved Ouija boards. I thought they were awesome. First of all, I did think it was paranormal at the time. I don't anymore. But one of the really cool things you could do is if you had a believer, first of all, the odds that the planchette would move around were significantly higher if you were with somebody who also believed in the paranormal. And what would end up happening is that I would play something called the numbers game. So you've got your numbers 0 through 9 on the board, and I would tell the person across from me, okay, Now, you think of a number, you keep it in your head, don't tell me, and we'll see if the board gets it. And honestly, like, more often than not, the number did come back as whatever they were thinking of. And I mean, even to this day, like, I did it with a friend about a year ago or so, and it still freaks people out. Like, you wouldn't believe. And now I do explain to them how it works and the effect that's controlling it, but you know, it's a pretty fun gag, to be honest. It is pretty fun. The clip from the fallen angel in the woods scared the poop out of me back in the day. Ooh, I do remember that one. That started, the fallen angel, I think, started the skinwalker craze, if I'm not mistaken. Fallen stranger. What was I typing in? Fallen angel? Oh. That might not be good enough. You did a short debunking video on Zozo? Yeah. What did you say, Kenny? I'm curious because, like, I assume it's sort of a subconscious thing, right? Like, just going back and forth. Like, I don't know. It must soothe the subconscious. Ooh. I do love Kieran O'Keefe. I think he's pretty awesome. You can see I've listened, like, you can see the watched, because anything that has Kieran O'Keefe in the title, you know I'm paying attention. All right, I can't find any of that. We're gonna go back. We're gonna watch another Sightings. I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole. If I put it in the thumbnail, right, I better be watching it. Let's try. Didn't go back far enough. There we go.
The following
First
program
video
deals with
under
controversial
Fallen Angel
subjects.
Scary.
The theory.
Okay. All right. I know I said I went back, but I do want to see it, so we're doing it. My algorithm's different. I typed in stranger again? What am I doing? Possible fallen angel in Catalonia subtitle.
Es la última batería que me queda. Tío, es que esto al flipar, ¿eh?
Claro, tócale como la cámara, tío, que es aquí no me trae.
Mira.
Me cago en Dios.
Es que, tío, yo qué sé, tío, se llaman
It said subtitles, but they're still in Spanish. I thought... I don't know why I thought it would be in English. My Americanisms.
Home, tio, ja veus si sentim soroll. Des de fa rato que sentim soroll. Que sí, collons, que sí. Hòstia. Escolta. Ho sents o no?
Ken, I'm not gonna stop. All right, let's take a little peek back at that guy, shall we? Well, they're not gonna give me an easy shot, are they? Huh. Okay. 2006. Well, you know, that's too far in the past. It has to be real. It has to be. X-Files has an episode called Fallen Angel or something close about UFOs. Ooh. I did watch a lot of the X-Files too. I did watch a lot of them. This was pretty... Yeah, that takes me back too. The Rake, actually, that's what it was called. It was called The Rake. That's it. Yeah, that definitely inspired The Rake. Man, I have not had enough fireball shots to slur like that, you guys, I promise. Okay. That is pretty sweet. Yeah, I'm also looking, guys. I don't know if you have any recommendations, but I got scared after the Sam and Colby live stream thing where they cut me off at about the hour and a half mark, and so I don't know who I can watch and who I can't. I figured Sightings was cool, mostly because I saw Crow do it. Thank you.
The following program deals with
But other than that, like I don't know what super
controversial
say.
subjects.
I also
Theories
just
expressed
like
are not the only
I also just tend to like the Sightings episodes because I love the Sally House. I love it a little less now though. Sometimes I wish I'm like, I probably would have had so much more fun my last trip to the Sally House if I just like not seen any debunking videos, but I'm much better off having seen them, obviously. But as far as like having fun goes, you can still have a lot of fun, but Bobby Mackey's. I want to watch Bobby Mackey's since they just.
The theories
I think they
expressed
tore
are
it
not
down
the only
recently,
possible interpretation.
from what I remember.
The viewer is invited to make a judgment based on all available information. Tonight on Sightings.
I'm your guardian angel. I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
Whether you believe in angels or not, you'll be surprised by
Tom
these
says, I
amazing
enjoyed the
real-
first 2 seasons, and it was too much about aliens and the Mulder sisters. I watched all the episodes. Yeah, y'all really like it. Short and to the point. Yeah, I actually.
Whatever it was, it must have been some sort of miracle. Then our team of
That was kind of my thought. I started thinking about it when I got to the Sally House, and I was like, this place looks so different than any of the paranormal, paranormal YouTube channels I'd seen up till that point. On my first visit, right, when I still didn't know what I was doing.
Most investigators hunts for the sinister force haunting this Kentucky music hall, plus astrological predictions for the new year.
Search of the original. Ooh, I would do that. Different how? Different in the sense that the layout, I mean, you do not get a sense of the layout of the Sally House at all from any of the paranormal investigations I'd seen going into it. Now, naturally, I wasn't watching good paranormal investigations. I was watching the less great people, but I'm not going to name any names right now, but people who are more than likely faking their stuff, and the way that they cut stuff and edit it together, it's just impossible to tell where they're at and what the place actually looks like. Plus, they're doing it in pitch darkness. Like, turn the lights on. Let me see a little bit. I honestly think that's the most of the difference is the lights. It's just, if you turn the lights on, it's a completely different story. Bobby Mackey's is no more. Yeah, I know. It's really sad. I really wanted to go there. Love to go. I also think at Bobby Mackey's, what could have been interesting, right? If let's pretend it still existed and I could go. You'd have me on a harness and you would lower me down into that well, and I guarantee you I'd be searching for that skull, trying to get to the bottom of that claim. Because they say that the way the story goes is that two satanic worshipers threw a head into the well. Just to sum it up quickly, there's more to it than that, but it's something you could test. You could probably prove that, or disprove it at least. Yeah, I say that though, and then I think, well, it could just wash away because I'm pretty sure it was connected to a sewage system, or at least it is now, that feeds into a river, so probably would be gone.
Welcome to Sightings. I'm Tim White. It is considered to be the most haunted place in Kentucky.
You should have driven a few blocks from the Sally House to Steve's Demon House. I don't know. What's Steve's Demon House? Kenny Biddle says there's so much more to the story to histy than that story. Yeah, that was not a good explanation. I didn't want to go too deep because I don't remember
music
it
club
that well
called
anymore.
Music World that's been plagued by supernatural activity.
Maybe they'll
Why
fill me in
Music
right
World?
here.
Well, some believe it's because
Mostly I
the club
remember
was built on
Joanna.
a site where gruesome murder occurred. And because the murder was rumored to be part of a satanic ritual, the area has been dubbed Hell's Gate.
This building, on the site known as Hell's Gate, was built more than 100 years ago and now houses Bobby Mackey's music.
There's also Hell's Gate in Lubbock, Texas, where I went to school for a little bit.
Music World, a country western bar and dance club in Wilder, Kentucky. The patrons here come for a good time, oblivious to the building's evil past. They do not know that once this was a slaughterhouse and later a place where, some say, satanic rituals and murder occurred.
Satanic worshipers went there at night to worship and praise the devil due to
so
the
they're
blood
gonna
that was
tell us.
spilled there
Why
from
didn't
the
I
dead
just wait?
animals. Their blood was poured into a well. The well is known as Hell's Gate.
The slaughterhouse, closed since 1938, and the bloody well, now sealed, are just two examples of the evil that has plagued this site since the 19th century.
In 1896, a girl named Pearl Bryant was beheaded somewhere in that area. Two men, Alonzo Walling and Scott Jackson, were arrested for that crime. People still today talk about Alonzo Walling and Scott Jackson refusing to tell the whereabouts of Pearl's head while they had the nooses around their neck. The judge had offered them a life sentence opposed to death if they would tell the whereabouts of her head. They refused. The rumors that have abounded here for years is simply that these two men were satanic worshipers and her head was given as a sacrifice, a blood sacrifice to the devil. And they would rather die than...
If I remember the story right, or the more true side of this story, I feel like they were in the area, but there was actually no evidence that it happened at Bobby Mackey's. But I am kind of guessing on that. I don't take that with a grain of salt.
Suffer Satan's wrath.
Newspaper accounts revealed that Pearl had been 5 months pregnant.
Was
and
this
that
the first time it was
father one of her
publicized?
killers.
I don't know.
Today, several witnesses claim
Yes,
that
that's
the
correct.
headless
I
woman
got that
and
one.
her two murderers still haunt Music World.
I felt something was trying to get me out of here. And there was always a voice saying, get out, get out.
Many, many people have sworn they've seen the form of a headless girl floating through the nightclub, moving through the crowd when the band's up on the stage playing.
I came in here one night, and when it was closing time and the jukebox was unplugged, it was playing the anniversary waltz.
I thought she was gonna tell us more about the headless party goer, because I was pretty curious about that. But that strikes me as interesting because being in a crowded place, right? Heads are constantly, especially like at a concert. I don't know what kind of venue it was, but if it's crowded, heads are bobbing up and down the whole time. You know, you probably just saw somebody making their way through the crowd.
I won't come in here unless I have to by myself, because this is a very dark, eerie, weird feeling building.
Sightings recently conducted a detailed investigation with paranormal experts Dr. William Roll and Dr. Dean Radin. They brought equipment designed to sense and measure the presence of abnormal energy at the site.
It's not only...
Sorry, guys. I'm trying to do chat here, but I probably need to figure it out a little better. Bobby Mackey's is faked and debunked. There's no real well. What? I didn't know that. Military Veterans Paranormal did an amazing deep dive. Ooh, okay. I'll have to go find that video after this. See, this is what happens when people drink out of old bottles dug up in Kentucky. I only look for Texas bottles, okay, guys? I mean, I don't care about Kentucky. I'm not from there. I don't know nothing about Kentucky. Actually, I mean, Bobby Mackey's is there, so.
brains or minds that hold...
I'm just now realizing that that's totally what you meant. Yeah, I'm sorry, kid.
Memories. Physical space also holds something like memories or traces. This is something that I don't think can be explained away in terms of simpler theories, can't be explained away in terms of magnetic fields or radiation. I think that it's something of a genuine parapsychological nature.
Sightings also brought in noted...
What was he putting there? What were those?
holds something like memories or traces. This is something that I don't think can be explained away in terms of simpler theories, can't be explained away in terms of magnetic fields or radiation. I think that it's something of a genuine parapsychological nature.
Sightings also brought in noted psychic Echo Bodine, who had no previous knowledge about Hell's Gate or Music World. As soon as she walked into the building, Echo had strong psychic impressions.
There's a psychic image of a lot of blood in this room. A lot of blood, a lot of hatred. There's an image.
The slaughterhouse. I don't know.
Of a man.
I don't like saying things about psychics because there's no way to really debunk their claims meaningfully. Like, I just have to take the opposite position, and I don't really love doing that because I don't have any evidence.
And a woman downstairs. Again, a man with dark hair and a woman who's afraid. He knows what he's doing. He's been here long enough. The feeling is that he tries to scare people, especially women. It seems like he doesn't like women messing with his property. There's definitely an energy here that does not want me to do any of this, all right? I mean, it's really strong.
When our experts sat down to compare notes with some of the witnesses at Music World, an alarming discovery was made. Pearl and her murderers may not be the only spirits haunting this establishment. Our team discovered that there are others who met with violent death here.
There's been...
Okay, what are your thoughts on third man syndrome on Mount Everest? Sherpas over the years have reported seeing ghosts of fallen climbers like David Sharp. I actually haven't heard of that. I'm very curious about it, though. Kenny Biddle says, oh, but there are ways to test their claims. These types of situations open them up to getting away with anything. Yeah, I can't actively ask them anything, but I would be curious, especially from you, Kenny, on how you go about so one big question is interviewing paranormal witnesses is something I'm particularly interested in, and then interviewing people like psychics and really trying to decide kind of if they're getting one over on you. I feel like that would make for a good video, at least for me, because I'd love to kind of learn more about that from somebody who's actually done it. Because first of all, interviewing people is extremely hard, and then while you're interviewing, also to be able to kind of make your mind up on whether they're actually telling you the truth is a real skill that's really, you've got to work hard to master that kind of thing. So
definitely violent death in this place, and sad death. I kept hearing voices crying about the broken dreams of this place.
The psychic's impressions of broken dreams may refer to star-crossed lovers who reportedly met here in the 1930s. Their romance ended in tragedy, and some believe there is a link between their untimely death and the other apparitions that haunt Hell's Gate.
After the property changing hands several times, the building became a gambling casino. There was a dance hall girl there named Johanna.
Absolutely, Kenny. I'd love to talk about it. I don't know if we can do it on stream or not. I feel like there's probably some people who would love to hear about that, but I can do that off or on camera. I'll shoot you an email probably tomorrow morning. I think Thursday afternoon would probably work for me, though, because I would love to learn more about that. Mr. Prism says, I feel like it should be the other way around with mediums. They need to prove something, not the other way around. They should, but you've got to consider the way viewers watch TV. You know, a lot of people when they sit down in front of the TV, they don't want to think critically, and in some cases they're not going to, or they honestly just trust what's put in front of them. I mean, you see that, like I was saying earlier about TikTok and how media literacy is continuing to just kind of decline with the short form content. It's a similar idea, you know. People give the benefit of the doubt to the psychics. So
She became pregnant by a man named Robert Randall, who was a singer at the club. Her father supposedly had Robert Randall killed. This was according to a diary that was found inside the nightclub.
That sounds perfect, Kenny.
She consequently poisoned her father and herself and committed suicide inside the same nightclub. Johanna, according to the diary, was 5 months pregnant.
5 months pregnant, just like Pearl Bryan, the first known victim of Hell's Gate. Then we discovered that the dead lovers of the 1930s had a link not only to the past, but to the present as well. There was an eerie connection between one of the lovers, Robert Randall, and current club owner, Bobby Mackey.
I went to Bobby Mackey and discussed
Hey, thanks for stopping by, Kenny. It was awesome.
I learned that Bobby Mackey's
looking forward to talking to you.
Original name was Randy. At 1 day old, his umbilical cord, where the doctor had severed it, had ruptured and he almost died. For some unknown reason, his mother changed his name to Robert Randall Mackey. Robert Randall, the same name as the singer.
At first, Bobby Mackey ignored the story of the eerie similarity.
I didn't want to hear it. And I told him, in fact, to keep quiet about it. I didn't want it getting around because I had everything I owned stuck in here. And I had to make a success of this some way or another. And
what am I missing here? Mr. Prism says, I think science, not entertainment. Sorry. Hey, you are somewhat in the minority there. But I think it's also that a lot of people don't get exposed to the kind of content that can kind of rewire your thinking, You have to kind of stumble upon it on your own in a lot of cases, and it's not going to just be the first thing you see on the YouTube homepage that screams, hey, don't listen to the Warrens. They're not telling the truth. Actually, now that's becoming a bit more popular, but prior to the last few years, not so much. Okay. Kenny Biddle says the burden of proof is always on the psychic, but TV shows like Sightings are all about entertainment. Absolutely. And psychics keep people watching. It's a similar, I was talking to Lee from Three Spires today for a second. He had commented on my latest GhostTube video where he said that he uses the GhostTube app but does it more for viewer retention. And I actually didn't even mention it in the video because I couldn't quite make up my mind. I think on the one hand, when you spend your entire night talking to the walls, something to break up that monotony and keep people engaged is important. But I think there's got to be a better solution to that. And that was something I wanted to do with my Sally House investigation was, to keep people interested, I'm not just talking to the walls, I'm evaluating the claims, right? That's what we've got to look at. And I've got claims, I'm going to evaluate them. And then when I'm done, I'm out, keep it simple and not waste anybody's time. I think that's really important. And I think anomaly hunting is an exhausting game. I don't know how the full-time investigators do it, and I have a lot of respect for them as well. Spending night after night talking to the walls is not an easy feat, especially in a lot of cases where you do it for no real gain. So, all right, let's see. All right. I love weird stories, all kinds, but I don't like people faking investigations. The stories can be really interesting, even if skewed to the witnesses. That's a great point. And you know who I really like to watch? I like to watch... God, who is that? He's really popular. I was just watching one of his videos on... He kind of has a funny name. I'll have to come back to it later. I can't quite remember right now. Denise says, yeah, I have hours of audio I need to listen to. I get so bored. Oh my God, trying to listen to EVPs is tough. I did that on my first trip to the Sally House. I listened to 10 hours. And what I would do is I would just, at work, I would just take the recorder and plug in some headphones and wait until I thought I heard every little noise. And I think it's really easy to trick yourself like that. Mr. Ballin is a good example of somebody who does stories. He kind of... I've been seeing this lately. I think Florio did a good job covering some of this, but he's also one of those people, I think, who does, like, tours. And I don't know how I feel about that. I'm curious what you guys think about the, like... I'm trying to think of the genre. True crime. I guess true crime tours, right? That some of these creators are doing. You do it while you're working too? Okay. Glad I'm not the only one.
Then my wife started bringing it up.
Janet Mackey told her husband that she had just survived a terrifying encounter with an
Julie,
unknown force.
It's brutal.
She was 5 months pregnant at the time.
Something had grabbed me around the waist. It seemed like it was trying to attack my child. Okay. And it picked me up and like threw me back down. Then when that happened, something grabbed my head and was kind of forcing me down. I got away from him, and when I got to the top of the stairs, there was pressure behind me, pushing me down the steps. And when I looked back up, the voice was screaming, "Get out! Get out!"
I love
Janet's frightening paranormal encounter triggered an early labor, but miraculously the baby survived. Considering the string of evil deeds connected to this site and the well that still lies buried beneath it, was Janet's experience a warning? Are the Mackeys the next link in a chain of tragedy at this site? With a thriving business and a healthy child, Bobby Mackey refuses to believe that his family is a target of Hell's Gate.
I don't believe such things could happen. I've never experienced anything in this building that would make me believe there's a ghost.
I'm kind of surprised by that admission, honestly. What did he say in Ghost Adventures? Did he stand by that? Does anyone remember the Ghost Adventures episode here? If he actually said that he didn't believe there was anything paranormal going on? What do we got here? Garflixit says, I download it onto my phone and listen to it all day, and I review it at least 4 to 5 times each recorder before running through Audacity. Man, hey, I respect the hustle and the commitment to going through all of that. I know how hard and time-consuming that ends up being, so hopefully you get something good. Hopefully you get something that can really, you know, I am a believer, like I said, so I think this is totally just based on my beliefs. This isn't based on anything rooted in science here, but if the paranormal is real, I think it's very rare. And what most people are doing on investigations is anomaly hunting. And I do think that it's possible that one day somebody is going to catch an anomaly that is just too hard to ignore, right? Like just something really crazy. So it could be you. Could be anybody. I do think, though, add some data loggers to your kit. All of you guys, if you get a chance to grab some temperature and humidity data loggers, anything you think might be relevant, try to grab a data logger and bring it on your investigations. And leave it still in one spot. Especially if you go back a lot and you can record good data over an extended period of time. I think that's going to be one of the ways to convince more skeptical-minded people that there really is something going on. We just need more hard data. You think he changed his mind? Okay. All right. I'll have to go look back at that.
Bobby Mackey claims that he does not believe that Music World or the well is haunted. But beginning in April of 1993, Mackey will fill in the well, demolish Music World, and rebuild it on property that he's just purchased, property that's only 100 feet south of the original Music World site.
Coming up next.
I'm your guardian angel.
People who claim they've had amazing real-life encounters with angels.
Whatever it was, must have been some sort of miracle.
I forgot they do this too, the miracles.
Do you believe in angels?
Nobody ropes in miracles with the paranormal anymore. Have you noticed that? Like, they kind of have their own special spot.
Do you think a guardian angel has saved you from harm? Well, according to recent Gallup polls, half of all Americans and 3/4 of all teenagers
believe in the existence of angels. Of those who claim to have seen an
It's a
angel,
religious
50% believe that what they saw was a guardian angel who had come to save their life.
Why'd you want to save me?
Denise says, our team has a device that collects 19 points of data. We have spreadsheets for some of our investigations. Denise, tell me more about that. I am super, super curious. Sir Spookfest, Portal to Hell. I think Mr. Gray did a vid today. Oh, yeah. The Portal to Hell clickbait. That was a good video. I enjoyed that one. Garfix, it says 30 plus years of investigations. Very few are, in my opinion, paranormal. I'm real hard about evidence. I need most tangible evidence. Try to stay away from many gadgets. That's awesome. I think the less gadgets, the less light up gadgets you have and the more data loggers you have, probably the higher I deem your investigation in my eyes. Not that that matters, but Wayne, so they've moved and rebuilt it and they haven't knocked it down now. Actually, so Bobby Mackey's was torn down pretty recently, I think. Vicky says, I'm 61 and I've seen one apparition. So yes, very rare. I agree with you there. I think if they're out there, they're very rare. Oh, they are going to build a new... Okay. So it looks like they are going to build a new
I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
In the classic film, It's a Wonderful Life, Jimmy Stewart plays George Bailey, a man who is prevented from taking his own life by Clarence, his own guardian angel.
You can reach out to me. I have an email.
Being seen around with an angel without any
So I have an email in the bio of my channel. I don't know what we call that. Just on my channel page. You can send me stuff there. I'll take a look.
Oh, I've got to earn them. And you'll help me, won't you? Sure. How? By letting me help you.
The belief in angels as spiritual beings who can intervene in human affairs has been around for centuries. But now there is an explosion of new interest in the subject. 50 books about angels have been published in just the past 2 years, and most Americans now admit they are believers.
The latest Gallup poll shows that 65% of us believe in angels. 75% of us who are between the ages of 18 and 25 believe in angels.
AIDS, a troublesome economy, a high divorce rate, changing sex roles.
They're talking about, I don't even know if I want to play the rest of this. They're talking about angels, and that the hard cut there was just kind of insane. 90s.
All of these things make for an uncertain world, and I think that people are turning to angels in an attempt to find security, power, control, meaning in their lives.
While some people actively search, others believe their guardian angel appeared in a moment of need.
First thing I remember about falling was I looked to the side. I didn't think I was falling as fast as I should be, and so I looked down for the ground, and I was trying to turn over, and I heard a voice, and she was saying, don't look down, and there was a girl that was about where my waist was, and she was in an upright position. She had a long white nightgown on, and she had long flowing hair. She said,
I don't know if I want to
you'll
comment
get
on
hurt.
angels that much. Like, you know, you get into the religious stuff, and it's kind of not my thing. I think this is probably a good point, too, to kind of wind things down. But I do want to say, I had such a good time tonight. I'm definitely going to start doing this. I'm going to try to do a live at least once a week, maybe more often, depending on how it goes. But I just want to say thank you to everybody who hung around, lurked, and left us some awesome comments in the chat. I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. I know I'm a smaller channel, but it really does mean the most. And I'm honestly, I'm still pretty shocked that anybody really cares and watches my videos. It's unbelievable, and y'all have been such a supportive community to kind of get my opinions out there. And I don't think I could ask for more. I think you guys are awesome, and this community is awesome, and I'm just very excited to kind of to stick with it and be here and watch this community grow. I really think, in the coming years, we could really see this kind of more critical thinking, skeptical group really kind of hit it big and reach a lot of people. And I think that's ultimately probably the most important thing, is to get that message of critical thinking into the public, even greater than has already been done. And I think there's a lot more these days than there used to be. I really appreciate y'all. I'll give some shout outs to everybody in the chat. Mr. Prism, thank you for stopping by. Ken, Denise, Garfixit, Sir Spookfest, Julie, y'all have been awesome. Scarborough, Kenny Biddle, even though you're gone. Wayne's World of Music. You guys have been just awesome. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate you stopping by and checking out my channel. It means the world to me. So I hope everybody has a great rest of their night. Maybe I'll make it a Tuesday thing, you know? We'll see. I'm going to tentatively say I'm going to make this a Tuesday thing, and I'll make a post about it if I change my mind on that. But it was tons of fun, and I will see you guys in the next one. All right. Have a good night, everybody.